be relaxed, but have a focus of where you want to be going with your life, because that's where you're going to start seeing a lot more progress. You're going to start seeing a lot more movement. Good morning, everyone. I hope that you had a really good sleep. For me, I had a pretty good sleep, but I actually woke up before my alarm clock this morning. Anyway, I want to get a head start on all of my stuff, so let's just start going at it. So, finally getting back out for my walk now. I'm still a little lagging behind as far as my schedule goes, but I know at least as far as my schedule that I have set up, it's a fairly loose schedule. It's basically how I've been using my accordance of time, like when I'm lagging behind or whatnot. I basically have a scheduler of at certain times, this is what I'm supposed to be doing or what I should be working on, and so on. And it still is eating a little bit into my work time that I have, but I'm not too concerned about it. Like, it's definitely not a Monday. It's definitely no Monday, because Mondays are just insane. Because one, I'm participating on. I'm part of a Facebook group that posts basically like every Monday. We post Medium posts. So basically every Monday there's just a slew of people that just put their links out, share their articles, and there's a lot of really good information in it, but it takes a really long time to get through all of that, and it basically throws everything out of whack. Plus, I also have my meeting, which normally takes about like an hour long. It takes maybe like an hour or two. I think yesterday's was about like an hour and a half. So yeah, it's like they're all like really valuable things. They're all really helpful things, but it really messes with everything else that I've set up for my schedule. Because again, I think the most important thing when it comes to working is you want to have some kind of structure, but you also don't want to be too restricting. Like, okay, you have to have like certain things at very specific times. Like mine is still pretty loose. Like there still is like some things that like, hey, you should probably do these at these specific times because they would probably help you. But like they're few and far between over the course of the entire day. Alright, so most of my social media stuff is done, and actually all the tasks that I wanted to get done today are actually done today, so it's not a reason to slack off or anything like that, but at least as far as right now, I've hit a point where everything is kind of at peace, and it feels great. It feels wonderful. Because, yeah, like I said yesterday, Mondays are just so chaotic. There's so much stuff just going on, and it's like it's a huge mess. One of the things I want to be talking about today is talking about just taking it easy because, well, like I just said, yesterday was just so chaotic. It was just a huge like clusterfuck of just stuff happening, and it's like, and sometimes I can just feel really overwhelmed about it, especially now where it's like I'm doing vlogging on top of that now, and there's just a lot of stuff just going on from that. I'm not complaining or anything like that, but like it's still there's so much stuff just going on, and sometimes I know for a lot of people they can just feel really overwhelmed and just shut down completely from that, and they're just like, I can't handle this anymore. Just yeah, and just stop being productive. So and kind of goes on from what I was talking about this morning, where I said as far as my schedule goes, the schedule that I follow, it's still pretty loose, even though I have specific times where I'm supposed to be doing specific things. Like, I don't get really on my case about it. But at the same time, like, I realize, okay, like, I still need to be doing all of these things. I still want to be getting stuff done and moving forward. But I'm not going to panic and not going to say, like, oh, it's the end of the world if something doesn't happen. Like, I started recording this at noon, and I should be wrapping things up with my tasks. I should be like taking a break, and like this is basically my break now that I'm using, is just recording this video or more clips for this video that I want to share with you guys. So I think it's important to just take things as they come, not necessarily just like go with the flow, like have some kind of structure, but still like don't get on your case, or don't get really up in arms about things not going according to plan, because life happens. Like, I knew already in advance, like with my schedule, I said Mondays are just going to be crazy, and I'm probably not going to be able to finish all of this stuff, even though I would like to, like that would be really nice. The reality is, like, you have to, there's all these other commitments, and sometimes things won't always get done. You won't get all the stuff that you really want to be getting done. Like, there are some kind of physical limitations that you have. So that's really important to recognize that, and have some level of optimism, but also some level of realism as well. And that's really important for me, and like that's one thing that I talk about a lot on Quora, actually, whenever people are talking about positive thinking, because I'm a huge person for positive thinking, but I also have like this sense of reality. Like, it's not like, hey, you can dream whatever and everything will just come to you. It's like, no, you have to put in some level of work. You have to put in some level of effort into all of this stuff. It's good to be thinking and dreaming big, but you got to work for it as well on top of that, to actually achieve what you want to be achieving in your own life and making something of your life, if that's what you want to do. But I wasn't grown up in mind. Oh, oh, always. Oh, 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 always. Oh, oh. Alright, so now that I'm back from my walk, I want to be sharing with you guys some things. First off, the reason why I'm recording here as opposed to recording outside is apparently the lenses like to fog up in humid weather, but also cold weather, like a combination of both, and that's basically what it's like outside, and apparently that doesn't bode very well for recordings. So, at least as far as like the video footage, because everything started fogging up, and I was just thinking, oh god, like, yeah, it was yeah, that's an experience. That's a good lesson learned. The thing I wanted to be talking about outside was that the job posting that I applied for from Upwork, that was the site that I applied for. I actually heard back from them almost immediately. And they want, the guy already proposed to me to be in his team. So that's really awesome. That's amazing, and I'm really grateful for it. Of course, I'm going to be accepting that and start working on that. But it kind of shows the whole expectations in motion, because yesterday I said like I set an expectation for myself to start generating some income, and of course there's some other areas for me to expand and start making an income from other places, and I do want to be doing that as well. But like this is a good step forward, and I pretty much I have an overall satisfying week already, and we're only 2 days into this week. Like that's awesome. It's amazing, and I still want to be keeping that momentum, of course. But it just goes to show, like setting an expectation when you have a focus of where you want to be going, you can start seeing things falling into place if you actually start taking action, start taking some steps towards it, and believing in yourself. But also putting in a lot of effort and work, because like actually I did like a Twitter post today on it, like looking back at some of my work. Actually, I sent like a kind of a lengthy tweet. It's like it's a 4-parter tweet of me talking about my experience of a freelance work. But basically, like I saw a message that I sent from Upwork back in 2016. So like basically two years ago, almost 2 years ago, and I looked at that piece and I just couldn't help but laugh and think like, my God, like this was my writing 2 years ago. And like looking at the work now, like you can see a massive difference between both of those pieces. But my whole point with that is like, even though your work might not be the greatest, it can improve over time. Like one of the things with my writing now is obviously I'm writing every single day. I've almost been writing straight for almost 1,000 days at this point in time that I'm recording this. You can really notice that, plus also your experience as well as the confidence that you have. Because for me, back in 2016, I was really like uptight, professional, and just like kind of accommodating. But this time, as far as my approach goes, as far as my writing style goes, like you can really see a difference between those messages and also the quality of the work that I'm putting into as well. Like, don't give up on yourself, and when you actually have something to focus on, dedicate some time to really focus on that. Because back in 2016, I really wasn't focusing on my writing like at all. Like I was more focused on making money, and like that was it. Like I didn't care about my writing being amazing or top notch. And like looking back to it now, it's like, yeah, it was terrible. It was cringy. It like no one would hire me, and like, well, I didn't really apply a whole lot, but like again, like even I wouldn't hire myself, my 2016 version of myself, because like that was just terrible. Like it was more hilarious, but also like again, like that was my writing. But like looking at today, like I put a lot more care into my writing, and I'm more focused on, okay, like I want to start improving. I want to start growing that skill and really focusing in on that. And so it's really important for us to focus, but also to be kind of lax about it. And like that's kind of the message that I want to be sending across, because that was one thing that I was talking about this morning, was be relaxed, but have a focus of where you want to be going with your life, because that's where you're going to start seeing a lot more progress. You're going to start seeing a lot more movement in that when you actually take some time to be focusing on where you want to be going and start setting like small steps. That's enough of me just rambling. I want to be wrapping a couple of things up, and of course making food, and of course wrapping up this vlog. So thank you guys so much for watching, and of course I would appreciate your guys' feedback if there's some things that I could be doing better, or if there's things that you really like, then just go and leave a comment down in the comment section below and let me know. And yeah, anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow.